Hello, welcome to my second portfolio project. This is Primes.java. It will create a list of primes and print out whichever prime you want. So you can get the next prime, the prime before the number you put in, or the primes between two numbers. So we'll demonstrate that now. All right, so if we get the next prime after 12, it's 13, right? All the primes before 13, including 13, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. It prints out how many there were. And then you can get the primes between 12 and 25. Print out those numbers. Very straightforward. So then we can end the program and take a look at it. All right, so starting from the top, we have the main method, which just calls the menu and adds 2 to the list of primes. And then the next method I have written is the check for prime, which will just go through list and divide. Well, it'll check if the number you put in is in the list of primes, and if it's not, it's false. If it's true, or if it's in it, it's true. It'll return that for when we're actually checking if it's prime. And the menu, that's self-explanatory. Just if-else chain. Oops, didn't mean to do that. So the method next prime, it'll ask you where you want to start, and then it'll create a for loop that will actually generate the list of primes for it. That way it doesn't have to create like a huge list, and I don't have a file input, but it'll take it in and just it'll check for prime, and if it's not in the list, it'll add it to the list. But what it also does is it divides the number you give it by everything in the list to check if it's divisible by any of the prime numbers. And if it's not divisible by any of the prime numbers smaller than it, then it's a prime number. And it'll use that in all 3 of the methods. And then this just prints them out. And then you have the primes before, which will, instead of printing out the prime immediately after the number you put in, it prints out all the primes before the number you put in, including that number. And then the primes between, it's just like the one right before it, except it'll print out everything between the 2 primes. So you just input a min and a max and go through it, print them out. And then there's a little error method just because Rishi was making fun of me. So now if you type in like a word to the menu, it'll say you messed up and just go back to the menu. Thank you.